What up, everybody? Just wanted to say a big thank you to everybody who's supported Lockdown Universe for the past 3 years. I really appreciate you. And if you've been thinking about a way to support, but you didn't have $1.99 to support for each month, that is okay. If you want to just buy me a coffee, there's an option for you to just buy me a coffee inside the description of each episode moving forward. So just highlight that, put it in your browser. You can go right there and buy me a coffee or two or three. I like coffee. Who doesn't? And I would really appreciate it. And it would keep me awake enough to make more podcasts for you guys. So I would appreciate that. And just wanted to let you know. Thanks for that. And thanks for supporting the podcast. Let's get to the show. What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Lockdown Universe, home of the bizarre, peculiar, and unheard of stories of UFO legend and paranormal lore. Welcome back, welcome back. Happy to be back. Hopefully you guys are doing excellent and taking care of yourselves. So today I will not take up too much of your time. I am quite sure that you guys know who Uri Geller is, the spoon bender, but that's not all he does. I will tell you about one thing about him that I never knew about, and I'm sure a lot of people haven't heard about this. I spent a lot of time, doing research in the paranormal in the 90s and all the way up till present day. And I had never read about this. I've read tons of stuff about Uri Geller. So today's episode will be on Uri Geller and the erasable disc. Okay, so we all know that Uri can bend spoons. He did it on live British television, bent spoons in front of people, and then at home, the people that were watching on television at home, their home spoons were bending as well. Their clocks would wind backwards and go fast. This dude has powers, okay? We know that. Whatever you want to think, that's what I think. So, the CIA hired him. The KGB hired him. Well, they wanted to hire him. He wouldn't go with the KGB, the MI6. So he stayed with the Allies, not the Axis. He wanted to be on the side of good. He also helped other agencies in America and in Israel, where he's from, to help these governments work together against the Axis, right? So what's interesting is a lot of people know he worked with the government to do remote viewing. Okay, a lot of people know that he was able to guess certain boxes and what were in these boxes. For example, they placed a piece of dice or a dice inside, or a die, I guess you'd say, inside of a box, shook it up. He was able to figure out what the number was when they opened the box or before they opened the box. Now they did this with 8 different boxes. He was able to guess each one. They said the odds of that were over a billion to 1. Even if it was 1,000,000 to 1, that'd be amazing. So, what did he do with a magnetic disc? It's easy to say, hey, you can remote view. There's been other remote viewers out there. Hey, you can bend spoons. Now that is pretty damn cool, because now you're talking about telekinesis to an extent. Okay, you found the Son of Sam as well. That's another thing. The FBI actually hired him to find where the Son of Sam was. He pointed it out on a map. They found the Son of Sam with Uri Geller's help. David Berkowitz. Okay, so if that wasn't cool enough, I'm going to tell you a couple things about him. But I'm just going to get to this because I'm going to keep it short. Keep it really short. I'm gonna do a couple different podcasts, a couple different ways. I'm gonna do some days that might be like a quick 5-minute story that'll start your day off, and some will be 15 minutes, maybe some will be 20 to 25. But I'm gonna try to keep some of these short so that you can enjoy them even more. So this particular story is based in Mexico City. The Russians were trying to take some very important information, place it onto some computer disks, take those computer disks out of the country and back to Russia. What our CIA had him do was to try to test his capability to eliminate the information that was on those disks. Okay. Now, what kind of disks were they? Well, they're floppy disks. Well, how do floppy disks work? There was the old school 5 inch and a quarter floppies that were like super floppy, right? You could flop them around. A lot of people might not remember those. And then they went down to the 3.5 disks. Those were hard floppies that you would put in and push the button and it would pop out. So either one, whichever one you're talking about, were both magnetic. Okay, so we're talking about being able to manipulate the magnetic field around these discs. Now you're talking about something else completely. We're talking about Yuri bending a spoon while holding it. That could be just the fact that he's holding it and maybe bending it physically or bending it mentally, but he's still holding it. Now we're talking about manipulating a magnetic field thousands of miles away. Okay, so they tested him. He was able to do it. He erased everything that was on those discs. They had spies inside the KGB, the United States did. They confirmed that he was able to delete this vital information, this top secret information off of these discs from his location in the United States. Most of the time it was up in Massachusetts area and up in the upper eastern area of the United States where they would do these tests, right? You got Virginia, you've got Massachusetts, you got all these Stanford research institutes all up in the eastern seaboard. So he was able to manipulate this. He was able to delete information off disks. They just tested him one time. They're like, hey, can you do this? Try this out. We're going to find out and see if you can do this. Of course, they tested him other times as well, but this was like a huge step. Imagine, I mean, Yuri's one guy, okay? I get that. He's one guy, one superhuman guy. But can you imagine, even if there's one superhuman guy that can do this, there's probably others. Think about it. If you're like you're like the professor, right? You're Professor X from the X-Men, and you're trying to gather all your superhumans. If you can find one, then there's got to be more. So it's fascinating to me that he had the capability to manipulate magnetism from so many miles away. Could there be more people like that? It's interesting to think about. But just think about that. If you can manipulate magnetism from that far away, you could be Magneto, right? You could be manipulating all of the computers for the CIA. And that's the next part of the story. That's how they figured out he could do this. Before he tested out his capabilities on those disks, they had him try to do another task, a non-associated task with magnetism. He was just doing a practice run on a test, and they found out that during this test he was manipulating and damaging all these computers in the CIA. They were all going wonky and they were all losing their data. So they said, well, if you can do that while doing this experiment, we want you to try that down in Mexico City while you're here, though. And that's where it gets really interesting, because think about this for a moment. If you can delete information off of computers at a distance, you can start deleting information off the internet. You can start deleting all of the digital information. You can start deleting mortgages. You can start deleting banks, crypto. You can start deleting so many things. So there's so many destructive things, right, that we think about when we think about movies, we think about people's superpowers. But there's a lot of good that he does as well. But when we think about folks with superpowers, we're always concerned about what will happen to me if he uses it against us and that kind of thing. So it's amazing to see what kind of weapon this guy really could have been, or probably was, for the government. He stated in this episode I've been watching that he did a ton of work for all these different secret government agencies. What else did he do? There's a great one coming up, but I'm going to share it. I'm going to save it for the next episode. So tune into the next one. I'll keep this short and sweet. I hope you guys are having a great evening, a great day, taking care of yourselves physically, spiritually, emotionally, following through on your hobbies and your goals and your dreams. And as always, continue to question the universe around you. Till 2 minutes from now, take care and Lockdown Universe out.